Dude, those are all right.
Tony Stewart will be heading over to Victor Lane. We'll get his thoughts here in just a moment. Right now, let's see if we can catch up with some of the other top 5 finishers.
Matt Kenson is out of his desk for Matt. He's been at the front of the field the whole night up towards the end. Give everybody an idea what happened there coming off of turn 4.
Well, I'm not really sure. It started off in turn 2, I guess. So Craig and I were locked up really good. I did everything I could to keep him with me. And somehow we got separated a little bit. And I guess Tony was separated too. So I slowed up to wait for Greg. And I guess that was a mistake. Tony thought he got in front of me. And right when I got run back on 3, I went to go outside of the net. And I'm not sure what happened behind me there. They just started running.
Matt Kenson comes over today in the 3rd position. Steve Post.
Second place finish for Beatty Chevrolet of Jeff Burton. Jeff, great finish. Last few laps of us. Tell us what's going on the racetrack.
Well, we had a great run there with Harvey pushing me, and there was just nowhere to go. You know, they were doubling up, and there was nowhere to go. So we got into 1, and I had to check up and keep from running over them. You know, got started to get, we're trying to win the race, and just the momentum, I can push harder than I needed to be pushed right there. And I looked at the second, I lucky nobody was out there. And came back 30 seconds on out. So that was quite a save.
It was quite a save. Moody's voice raised 6 octaves on that one. Jeff Burton, a 2nd place run. Here we go. Let's go back to
Ryan Newman, 5th place run after bouncing around off a couple of people on pit road. Let's start with the finish of this race. What did you see happen there coming to the checkers, and just how wild was it?
I saw Biffle pull off sideways in the middle of 3 and 4. Didn't know if he was going to save it or crash it or what. Kind of started down there in 1 and 2 with a 31 car. I think he got into the 16 at the time, but it's a good day for our Accidental Chevrolet team. Everybody, Stuart Haas, obviously congratulations to Tony and the 14 team. To get a top 5 after where we were running going into turn 3 is pretty amazing for us. So just lucky missing the stuff in turn 4, but we've been very unfortunate several times in turn 4 coming into checkers.
Now let's talk a little bit about pit road and just how dangerous things are on pit road. Describe what happened there in the incident that got you turned around and slid into Brad Keselowski.
First of all, happy nobody was hurt. That's what they told me at least anyway. And just 24 didn't give us any room. I mean, he didn't go out to the grass like he was supposed to, and he hurt his teammates. He hurt the 5 and us. And I'm sure he didn't do it on purpose, but man, it was disappointing because it put some guys in jeopardy on pit road, and that's what we don't want to see. But unfortunately, nobody was hurt, and we'll all go on.
Ryan Newman, 5th place run tonight. Steve Post.
Yeah, Joey Logano down here, top 5 finish here this afternoon as he is debriefing with some of his crew guys. Fireworks in the background as Logano down here after a good run. Joey, wow, what did you see on the final lap?
I saw a lot of things all night. Yeah, I'd say, look, man, my team did a great job fighting intelligence here, getting themselves back up in position here, and how I top 4 coming up. We got that right track when I was coming up pit road. Went through the grass, cars overheat, trying to fix that, then we came off there. Behind the field. And it went, pinch out, fit that right, got lucky there, and then the lap there, just bumper cars, and one guy was hitting the neck, and the cars got no downforce on him anymore, so cars that bump each other is pretty crazy out there, and a lot of cars are getting loose, so this one car was just chain reaction, just blinking into each other, and we were able to come out in front of things at least, and come home with a 4th place finish, so I guys did a great job fixing my car so I can get a good finish.
This race, one of those wild card races where anything can happen. Right now, standing here with a 4th place finish, what's your sense of relief that you cleared this hurdle as far as this race goes?
This is one of those, it's a wild card race for sure, and Lauda next week is also a tough one. You see a lot of action there, so can't never let your guard down, and this is definitely a good point there for us and what we needed, so we just got to do this for this next 2 races and get ourselves in.
Joey Logano, finish 4th here this evening.
Had a pretty good night. Comes out there with a 4th place run, and I'll settle for that. Just to drive through all that carnage that was going on over in turn 2 for a couple of times, and up there in turn 4. Yeah. Right now, let's go down to Gatorade Victor Lane.
I tell you what, the high fives all the way around with Tony Stewart for the 4th time in this CokeZero 400. Tony, 1st place to start. Take us through that last lap as you came off in turn 2.
I was afraid that they were going to, that the 17 and 16 were going to clear us. We were just going to try to get the line behind us, but just sat down on the right rear Greg Biffle and caught him pull off the mat, and I think Matt backed up a little bit trying to get back to him, and we were able to keep the momentum and go around him, and then got in front of him, and I just got on the brakes and tried to back up to them where they couldn't really get a big run out there, and they were trying to get around the outside there, and that's when the crash happened. And
Very weird.
Talk about how your racing evolved. You were kind of in the middle of the track for a while and came down to the road a couple of times. Was that by design, or were you guys working on the car all night?
Well, yeah, but it looks
No, I mean, at the beginning we just kind of took it easy in the back.
Not a lot spread out.
It's going to be a long day, and we got in a little bit of trouble there. We were kind of a three-car draft that was about half a lap down, and the caution came out. We worked our way up there, and Steve Addington had an awesome pit haul and pit strategy, taking 2 tires, and that got us on the lead, and that kept us up front there where we needed to be for the end of the day. So, the track position and track haul this far was awesome, and, Mobil 1 lubricants, I mean, nights like tonight are show what Mobil 1 lubricants can do for your cars. We had great fuel mileage, and this thing was really, really fast when it restarts, and that's just low friction, so glad to have them on board for sure.
What is it about this racetrack in the summer when they repaved it, thought it was going to be a little bit stickier? You've got a little bit of an advantage with your background in sprint cars. What is it about this summer race that adapts to your style so well?
I don't know, but I'll trade them all in for just one Daytona 500. So this is 18 wins at Daytona. We just haven't got the right ones. All of them are special. And it's cool to do this. This is the second time this year we've been to victory lane with Steve Addington at Daytona. So really proud of this group and our guys.
And Tony Stewart breaks the tie. He's 14th all time. He breaks the tie with Buck Baker, a Hall of Famer. He's 47 wins, 4th in the CokeZero 400, and 3rd in 2012.
The 5th quarter. 60 minutes after the game. Finish the competition good. Taking protein. Start rebuilding muscle. Stay in the game. He's in the 5th quarter. Are you? Protein to rebuild muscle. Gatorade Recover, part of the G Series.
Upside down, smiley.
All right, we're here in Gatorade Victory Lane. Tony, 4 wins in this race. Are we going to have to name this one after you, maybe, huh? 4 victories. More importantly, though, from a chase perspective, 2 wins this year.
I'll tell you what, I'll trade Matt Kenseth this race for his February race if he's willing to trade. So just proud of it. It's it shows what Mobil 1 lubricants can do in your car. It's just the thing was really, really good on restarts, and we just needed the track position. We started in the back because of an infraction yesterday, and glad to get through that. And the guys did a really good job. We got kind of caught in a 3-car draft and lost the main pack there early in the race, and on a restart there, we got back up a little closer to the front, and then some pit strategy. Got the Chevy, got the lead on the restart. So worked out really good for us. I mean, the 17 and 16 were definitely the 2 fastest cars today, but I think we got them there on that last lap. We were able to just pull them apart, and I think Matt backed up to try to get hooked up with Greg again, and that got us by him, and just able to hold on until they started wrecking in 3.
That move when you got in front of him was really the key to this one.
Yeah, it normally is to win races.
Tony, here is Cole Tilzer, who is the CokeZero brand manager. She's got a few words for you.
So Tony, on behalf of Coca-Cola Company and CokeZero, we are ecstatic to present the trophy to you. Perfect way to end the weekend. Congratulations to you and the whole team. Awesome.
And there you have it. The trophy has been presented to our victor, Tony Stewart, here in the CokeZero at Daytona, powered by Coca-Cola. And the Victory Lane celebration will continue for some time as Tony Stewart wins for the 4th time in this particular race and his 2nd win this season. So with the Gatorade Victory Lane celebration continuing, we're going to throw it back upstairs to Tony and Larry.
Well, it's the usual Daytona finish. We always see it every year. You know it's going to happen. Here it is again up on the Sprint Vision screens. You see Greg Biffle trying to push, and then Tony Stewart was able all by his lonesome to wind that car up. Able to get in front of these two, and then once Biffle and Kenseth got back together, it looked like they were going to take the inside. Tony came over, kind of blocked him a little bit, had to move them up the racetrack, and then when they got into turn 4, well, Biffle came up a little, trying to get it. Here came everybody else, and that's when it was on. Biffle actually got into the left quarter panel of that Kenseth car, and then it was on. It was all Tony Stewart coming to the start-finish line.
Yeah,
I thought it was interesting hearing Smoke say that once everything got disconnected off of turn 2, he basically got the car as close to Greg Biffle's right rear quarter panel if he could, and he thinks that because that smaller spoiler that we're running here got those two disconnected and allowed him to pull ahead. And then once everybody got disconnected over here in turn 3, Stewart had enough of a gap to where he could create the block. Then everybody's pushing at that point, Larry. There's nothing you can do. It was nobody's fault for that wreck. At that point in time, here comes the checkered flag. It's time to go. There's no chance to hit the brakes.
Well, there's the point standings. Matt Kenseth still in the lead. He is 17 over Dale Earnhardt Jr. Greg Biffle moves back up to the 3rd spot with Jimmy Johnson having another accident that takes him out of Daytona. Kevin Harvick in the 5th spot. The next page of the point standings has good news for some of them because Brad Keselowski is now in the 9th. It's a tying in points with Clint Boyer. Of course, Brad K has got the 3 wins, so that's a tiebreaker there. Tony Stewart up to the 6th spot, helps him out. Denny Hamlin still there, only 7 points behind in the 7th. Martin Truex Jr. Clint Boyer holding down the 10th, and then the wild card's going to be a little more crazy as we get ready to go to Loudon and up in New Hampshire next week.
11th through 15th, Carl Edwards in the 11th spot. Kyle Busch is 12th. Casey Kane is 13th in points. Paul Menard will be 14th with Ryan Newman in 15th. Just thinking about Brad Keselowski's run tonight. That car was torn up. It was hit on pit road. Heavy damage to the back of that machine. Then he blew kind of the tire. Had the tire go down, spun around the back. The whole right rear quarter panel was crushed up. It was ripped off. And he ends up with a top 10 finish, finishing 8th and solidifies himself even more in the points. Joey Logano, we saw him on pit road all evening tonight. He ends up